Hi, Mitchell Dale. This is Rugby League Week TV. Joined on the couch today by Eric Groth, Martin Lenehan. Thank you for joining us. Boys, big show, lots to get through.
Yes, first, your hair. Have you had a haircut?
I have.
Well done, mate. Looks nice. Looks very
So
nice.
have I.
Have you? You look nice this week.
Oh, I feel, thank you for noticing. First game, tonight, Roosters, Seagulls. Of course, the replay of last year's grand final. They have had a crack at each other earlier this year in round 4. The Seagulls got up, avenged the grand final loss. Massive game. You would say both sides well positioned on the ladder, but neither have probably hit their straps yet.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I love these games. These two clubs in particular, they just strive for excellence in everything they do. And mate, it's hard to look past Manly. I just think they're a big game team, and no matter what, you could never, be forgiven for going for them against any other team. I'm going to have to tip Manly, I think.
Particularly at Brookvale. Now, we caught up with Daly Cherry Evans and the coach, Jeff Tuvey, this week. Had a quick chat to them about what they think's going to unfold tonight.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I can't wait. Playing the Roosters side, which are in great form at the moment, so it's going to be a tough battle for us. I felt as though we only needed one win to kick that spell. It would have been nice to beat them one game last year, but that wasn't to be. We've moved on from that, and this year is a different year. We've got the wood on them in one game. I'm sure they'll be having every intention to come to Brookvale and upset us. So we'll be trying to protect our home ground the best we possibly can, and also just beat the Roosters just for the sake of beating the Roosters in 2014, not for any other circumstances.
Yeah, they're definitely the favourites. I think they've got a very similar, probably an even stronger side than last year. So it's going to be a tough encounter, and they do pride themselves on taking teams on in the forwards, and that's their strength, obviously. Missing Michael Jennings will be a little bit of a positive for us, but they're definitely going to take us on in that area.
Yeah, Jeff Tuvey very quick to claim the underdog tag.
Too smart.
I don't know if Manly could ever be proper underdogs.
Nah, not at Brookvale, I think, but that's the way the coach has got to play it. I think, look, Eric, as you said, I think at Brookvale, always very hard to beat. Love these games. Their semi-final last year was an epic, and then the grand final, I reckon, was probably the best of the last decade. So for me, Cherry Evans, who we spoke to there, he's the key. Is he 100% fit? Probably not. He's going to have to manage himself through the rest of the year, but massive challenge. And I think for the Roosters, just to show everyone where they're at, they've kind of snuck into the top 4 really without playing their best footy, so a real huge test for them, I think.
Yeah, look, they've had a good past month, the Roosters, but they haven't probably come up against too tougher opposition. This is the big challenge for them. No Manly at Manly.
For me, yeah, this is the game of the last 8 weeks. So I'm really excited just to see what comes of it, because mate, Roosters, like you said, sneaking into the top 4, you want to stay there, and Manly avenging the grand final again, they want to beat them again.
It just shows we are starved of a good matchup throughout the whole Origin period. We've seen some blockbusters ruined by sides not having their full contingent of players.
Well, this will be the first of what's to come for the semi-finals, hopefully.
Well, this is it. This is around the time coming out of the Origin period, which we're just about to. This is where the good sides have to lift, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Roosters for me, boys. I think, having said that Manly will be tough at home, I do think the Roosters are on the rise.
Yeah, Manly.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Leno again. Sorry, Eric.
I just don't like you. Hey, I really don't like you.
I don't like tipping what you tip, so there we go. We're a good couple. Okay, boys, the other big game tonight, Brisbane and your Sharkies, Eric. Now, we caught up with a few of the Broncos, caught up with Ben Hunt and Justin Hodges. They were talking about the game. Ben Hunt also talks about what he learned out of Origin camp, being in and around all those Maroon superstars. Let's take a look.
I took a lot out of the week. It was probably one of the best weeks of my life, and being in there, and I learned a lot from Jonathan Thirst and Cameron Smith, and that, just the way they lead at training, and just a lot of little things they do around the place, and hopefully I can bring back a bit more leadership and a bit more organisation at training and stuff like that. I still think it was good. I got a really good week out of it. I got to get the chance to be in an Origin camp with some of the best players in the world, and it doesn't matter whether I played or not. I can really take a lot out of that week.
We just got to prepare the best we can to win the game, and like you said, they haven't scored for a while, but that doesn't mean anything. Everyone loves coming up playing our Suncorp, especially on a Friday night. So it's the best place to play footy, and I'm pretty sure Gell will have the boys ready to go.
Yeah, I think Ben Hunt, for mine, one of the most improved players in the competition this year. And actually, Brian Smith said in the magazine last week that he thinks he is the most improved.
Mate, and also you go up a level when you're hanging around a mob like Queensland. That's just going to give you goals and see the level where you want to be at, and I think it does a lot for a bloke's confidence too, being thought of in those circles. So it's going to be a tough one for the Sharkies. But in saying that, this week we didn't have a crisis meeting. We had a big meeting on Monday, and we basically went through the whole game plan. And mate, you could not be trying harder to get out of the rut that the Sharkies are in at the moment. You couldn't do anything else. They were out in the paddock for 2.5 hours. I remember we did our rehab training, went for about an hour and a half, coming out, and they still went for another hour nearly. So they're doing everything they can, and if they've got a bit close to full strength this week, if they're going to win an upset, it'll be this week. Yeah,
well, Justin Hodges, interestingly, he did say he's quite wary of the Sharks for that kickback factor.
2.5 hours, mate, that's about how long since they scored a point. So I think that's the... I love Justin Hodges. You know, the boys have got to say that you know, they're wary of the Sharks. They say the right things. I mean, look, that would be their biggest issue. I think being complacent. Brisbane, they're playing at home. They know Cronulla are down. I mean, that would be the only thing I think that can bring Brisbane undone, would be taking the game lightly. I don't think they will. I think they'll be too switched on. Yeah, look, that's the thing about the Broncos. They've had a pretty good past month. They've won a few tight games without some of their origin players. Didn't quite get over the line against the Warriors, but this is a real danger game because this is one that they should win at home. Yeah, and that can be scary, you know. You talk about complacency and just thinking you're going to turn up and win. It just doesn't happen at the NRL level anymore. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Sharkies got him up there last time, and from a Todd Carney, he was very cool, calm and collected and pretty much steered the team to a victory. So, mate, I reckon they'll be very confident. When you play up there, you seem to play better too. It's such a professional outfit, and the ground up there, when you go there, there's so much history there. There's an atmosphere, isn't there? There's always 25,000. You're dead set, you're on the field and it feels like you're just surrounded at the Coliseum, or the seats go up on a sharp angle and it's just everyone's hovering over you. So the Sharkies actually have a decent little squad up there too, fan squad up there too. So if they all get along, you never know. All right, Leno, who are you picking? Oh, look, I think Brisbane by 14. I'm going to pick the Sharks, and not just because I'm a part of the club. I honestly think this is going to be a big upset. Yep, okay, I'm going against you. Oh, sure, really. As we do. Broncos for me, 1-12. Okay, quick change of pace, boys. Out there in the Penrith area, things are going great for the juniors. We caught up with MG this week, had a chat to him about the Schoolboy Tournament named in his honour. So he told us all about it. Let's have a listen. So they decided to make it after school, which is the only competition in the western suburbs that they play after school. So that kind of narrows the field down a bit, because kids usually try and get out of school and they don't want to play after school. So these kids who are playing in this competition really want to play in it. And I had a hand in implementing the structure of the comp and the rules and regulations, which are if the kid doesn't attend school 75% of the time, if he doesn't respect his fellow students and teachers, or if he doesn't hand in his assignments or homework, he doesn't get to play that week. And the motto is, I learn so I play. I think we've got to put, a lot of kids this age put sport before they put their education. And I know I did at that age, and if I had my time over again, and a lot of people would say the same thing, they would have liked to concentrate more at school. We've done a bit of a study on the MG Cup last year and found out that 73 of the kids who played after school on a Wednesday or Tuesday or Thursday had never played rugby league before. So we're actually introducing the game to a whole new breed of school kid, which is exciting. Yeah, great friend of Rugby League Week, MG, and really good initiatives out there as well. Outstanding, mate. In its second year, and congrats to Kingswood High, the boys that won the open competition. I think, as MG said, you know, they're bringing a lot of new kids into the game. It's a fantastic idea. I mean, king of the western suburbs, a big fella, king of Penrith, and I think the NRL have been fantastic the way they've used some of these guys as ambassadors for the game. And look, the junior nursery out there, everybody knows how big it is, and they're just using this to bring some new kids into the game. Yeah, that's right. And I think just the tournament is starting to grow. They had a few new teams coming in this year. I think it's just reflective of what's going on out there in the west of Sydney. I mean, you look at the Panthers, they're flying along, not just in first grade either. They won the under-20s last year, and they're right up there in the New South Wales Cup as well. Yeah, definitely, mate. Gus Gould went there with a plan, and it's just all starting to happen for him. And it takes time, those things. He's basically restructured it from the bottom up, and we're starting to see the fruits of it all, mate. The people say that Penrith first grade, the Panthers in first grade aren't a real premiership threat. I think that's bullcrap, mate. I think on their day
they've got enough sass in their team to pretty much knock anyone off their perch. So it's going to be a real interesting finals time for Penrith and see how they go.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they have won 5 in a row. They haven't come up against any real contenders in that run of 5. You still got to beat them though. So
that's right. Yeah, you definitely, mate. You're still going there. You're playing NRL, and on any day, like I said before, anyone can beat anyone. So they're turning up each week and they're getting the job done, no matter who's in front of them. So it'll be interesting to see if they can do that against a real threat.
Yeah, well, we caught up with MG again, as I said. We spoke to him about the Panthers, how they're going. He's pretty confident that they can really challenge this year.
Oh, yeah, this year. I really do. Now that they're there, it'd be a disappointment if they didn't get at least to the top 4 now. I had them finishing around about there, obviously with my heart before the season, but now my head's saying that they are a great football team. Jamie Soward has been great. Peter Wallace has been sensational. Elijah Taylor has been that rock of Gibraltar that they needed in the back row, and they might be one superstar short, but when you have blokes like Matty Moylan out in the back line and young Yeo, it's exciting times for the Panthers.
Yeah, I think this week, boys, you talk about them getting a real contender. They're playing the Warriors. Summons is a team that's very, very dangerous. What I like about Penrith is you've got Jamie Soward, he's won a comp, he's playing out of his skin, and Peter Wallace up there in Brisbane, very successful team as well. So your halves obviously call the shots, dictate the game. You've got a couple of guys there who know what it takes to win big games. I reckon they can go over there and beat the Warriors this weekend. Yeah,
look, it's a big one for them. I think this is probably the biggest challenge that they've had over the past couple of months, really. I mean, the Warriors are going along very well. They've won 3 from 4. They play very well at Mount Smart Stadium as well.
Yeah, it's a tough trip, mate. Your body clock's all thrown out. It's a lot of waiting around at airports, and because it's international flight, obviously, mate. Yeah, it's going to be. This will be a good challenge for them. I think if they go over there and beat the Warriors, mate, I think anyone in the comp should be very wary.
Well, that's it. I think if they can win this, and then they're then 6 from 6, I think everyone will start paying a bit more attention to them. Leno, you said you like the Panthers?
Yeah, very keen. I think the good teams have proved over the years you can go over there and win. Brisbane have done it a lot. I like Penrith. This is the start of a real good run home for them, I think.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I'm going to go with you, Leno. Panthers, I just think that this will separate them from the rest of the pack and put them into real finals contention, and mate, confidence riding high. So Panthers, no doubt you're going to go with the Warriors because I'm going with the Panthers.
Of course, I will go for the Warriors, but I do think that they can win as well. I'm not just going with them because I like to disagree with you, so that's a double bonus for me. I reckon the Warriors in a tight one. Okay, encouragement award, Eric. What have you got?
Sorry, I've got. This is a split decision this week. Mick Potter, Robbie Farah. Mick Potter for giving Robbie Farah 7 days off after the Blues wrapping up the series. Robbie Farah taking that on board because they had the bye and basically going on a 7-day bender and not stuffing up, being the perfect gentleman. No mishaps or anything went wrong. So
no ladies with yellow dresses?
Yeah, no yellow dress ladies out there getting grabbed on the lower back, I'd say. Well done, Robbie. Mate, players, take a leaf out of Robbie's book. If you're going to go on a 7-day bender, don't stuff up. Easy. Him or Mick Potter, I don't know. One of them two.
I'm going Mick.
You reckon Mick?
I love that, mate.
That's pretty nice. Pretty nice of him. Pretty special.
Look, I'm going for Mick Potter because Robbie should have behaved. Players should behave. We shouldn't be commending them just when they behave. We should be commending coaches when they give them 7 days off. Okay. And trust him. Of course, he is the captain and an elder statesman and a pillar of the game, but
Hey, this is my segment, buddy.
Sorry.
Go and sit on the other side.
Well, we just put it in the mail to Concord and they can work it out.
Decide. I'll put 2 Robbie Farah and Mick Potter, they can decide it.
All right, there you go. That's the encouragement award. That's the end of the show. Thanks for joining us, boys. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.